What do you think, Armin, will happen to all these terror organizations such as Hezbollah, Hamas, Tashabih, whatever, Taliban, I don't know, once the Islamic regime in Iran is falling completely and like Iran got established as a normal state, as a normal country? What do you think will
So
be
so
with them?
yeah, I will tell. That's a good question. I will tell you what will happen, but let me start with what will not happen. And so, once the Islamic Republic falls, your question is what happens to the proxy groups, and here's the proxy groups that we need to pay attention to. Okay, this is not a complete list, but it's the most important ones, right? Obviously, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, the Hashd Shabi in Iraq, Zainabiyun in Pakistan, Fatimiyun in Afghanistan. One thing that's will not happen, and some people might, I mean, I hope nobody here thinks like that they're not going to completely disappear. Okay, these people will continue to be a problem. Okay, we're not going to see a complete elimination of Hamas and Hezbollah forever, like as if like they don't exist anymore at all. Right? They will always, well, not always, but they will continue to operate for a very long time, even after the Islamic Republic falls. But what will happen is that they will be so much more limited. They will lose their main source of funding. All of the oil and gas of Iran, they used to, a major part of that used to be used to fund them to, that will go away. A lot of their source of operations, training bases, a lot of their sources of their military equipment will go away. And one thing that a lot of people underestimate, that is very big deal, is the source of their ideological, like, it's not just money, it's not just equipment, it's not just training, it's also ideological support. And I don't know if people understand how important this is. You need a place where intentionally is fueling the hatred and the ideological reference and the justification for everything you're doing. And a lot of that comes from Iran. And you're going to be losing that as well. On top of that, I think the Qataris are going to reevaluate their soft power strategy. They're not going to stop funding and supporting toxic ideas. But they're probably, I mean, if they're wise, they're going to scale it down when it comes to Islamic terroristic groups, given that all of the shit that they have been spreading around the world is now coming to their own backyard and it's causing them to have to deal with this nonsense. They're like, okay, let's just focus. If I was them, I would be like, yeah, we're not supporting Islamic terrorism anymore. Let's just focus on leftist progressive ideas and far right ideas, far right, like isolationist anti-Israeli ideas. So both leftist anti-Israeli and right-leaning anti-Israeli in the West. That's a safer toxic idea for us to support. The Islamic toxic idea seems to be hurting us as well, right? So that probably would get either limited or cut as well. So these people will be a lot more limited when it comes to their support. But on top of that, when Iran is free, the oil and gas money that was being spent on building these proxies up now is, it's not just that they will be cut, it will also now be spent on building a military and an intelligence operations that will go hunt them down. So this will double the effect. Like, if it was being caught, that would already be significant. But now that same money is going to be spent on people that were just like, this is very resembling to Israel in so many ways, right? So, for example, Jews were being oppressed and attacked and hunted down for forever. When Israel became, when they got their nation back, when modern nation state of Israel became a country, it's not like these people, like Nazis didn't disappear, Jew hatred didn't disappear. The people who are hunting down Jews and killing Jews didn't disappear. But what happened was now Jews had a way to fight back. Now Jews were doing the hunting as well, right? So this is the same situation with Iran. So Iran becoming a nation state doesn't mean all of these will disappear, but now Iran and the Iranian people are going to be a lot more well equipped to fight back against all of this, right? And just like when Israel was established, they went and hunted down Nazis. The Iranian people are also now going to be going out and hunting their oppressors once they have their nation state. So it's going to be, they're going to be weaker, but they're not going to disappear. That's the summary of it.
And another question, if I can, is there any good analytics in the side of the Islamic Republic media, like that some sources that they like speaking actual real stuff, or like, let me know if you understand my question.
Are you saying that is there anybody from the Islamic Republic side that is giving good analysis?
Yeah, like publicly and in the state TV or something like this. Is there
The
anything
answer,
that exists like that?
well, let me tell you this. There are people within the Islamic Republic that understand what's going on and they internally have good analysis, but they can't make that public because then they will be hunted down by their own people. Because the soft power of the regime is the most important force that it has, right? So it needs to have an image that it puts out there is designed in a way to keep its followers following it. So the reason why you that type of an analysis would not be tolerated, at least from state media, is because they need to save face. However, they use alternative media that they pretend is not with them. That this is the whole point of reformist and reformist leaning media out there on YouTube, for example. Like we have this channel called Azad YouTube channel, and they bring in people guests there, and they sometimes bring people that have correct analysis and are actually sound very wise regarding what's happening, and they even criticize the regime in the most harshest ways, right? But the thing is that all of this is happening by the approval of the regime, while pretending that this is not by our approval and these are the enemies, because they need to pretend that these people are the enemy, or else their own supporters will turn against the regime because their supporters hate that type of talk, right? But the reason why they sometimes, not on their own official state media, but on these alternative platforms, they put good analysis out there, and it's all in Persian. So I don't know if that's going to be good, like if you are going to benefit you in any ways, right? But the reason is that they do that is to buy credibility for those said reformers as a way to create their own fake opposition. So they put good analysis out there to buy credibility for those people among anti-regime people. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, thank
This
you.
is yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. By the way, this is very deep stuff. Like this is like getting into a lot. Like I could go into a lot more detail regarding this, but it might be too much detail regarding the internal politics of the regime. But this is some stuff that only Iranians, not even average Iranians, the Iranians who have been following politics deeply for the past 10 years or so, this is the stuff that they understand. So we're getting into in very deep right now.